All right, purgy purge. Time to stretch some milk. Nice and quick. Give it a clean up. All right. Hey, welcome everyone to Artisti Live. We're going to be talking about milk, stretching milk, how to stretch milk, the issues you might have, and not so much pouring. It's all about the different types of milk and how to stretch for a flat white, controlling maybe a small jug or a big jug. And I want to answer all the questions you have around stretching milk. You know, you might be challenged by a certain issue, and I reckon I can answer them pretty simple for you. So pop your comments down below. Happy to answer all of those for you. There is a beautiful latte straight up. We'll cover things like wastage in a jug, the right jug size, but also how to handle some different milks as well. So got a couple of coffees that are just being made at the moment. A few of the team have just arrived, which is nice. So Ryan's got his little latte there. Got a batchy for Jimmy.
I'll run the batchy.
You got it, there you go. That one can go out for sure. And, oh yeah, Ian's a regular. Ian has featured on a few of our videos before. If you've looked through our stuff, Ian's the guy that writes his own cups out in the past, I believe. Ended up being one of Jimmy's famous videos where everyone said, hey, he hasn't started making coffee yet and it's a while, and it was quite funny. So thanks, Ian, for making us look a little bit better there. All right, so all right, so we've got a couple of different drinks here, which is cool. I'm going to reorder these because I want to get the sweet ones out of the way first, because they'll sit a little bit longer. So we've got some mochas we're going to run through first, and then we got some lactose-frees there, which is cool. Lactose-free milk. Where are we? Lactose-free. This stuff, forget about it. This stuff's really good. We get this just from our supermarket, actually. UHT lactose-free is great. If you've got a big clientele, you can buy lactose-free from Tia. Here's your longy blackie with a bit of pizzazz in there for you. It's all Chloe pizzazz today in that one. Lactose-free mochas. So lactose-free milk is it's a lot sweeter. There's no doubt about it. So if you're looking to get a sweeter style coffee, you could do half lactose milk and then half anything, to be honest. You could actually do it half with an alternative milk, or you can do it half with your dairy as well. So I'm just going to froth this up, and I've got the right amount, I believe, for my 12 ounce. And just thinking about it a little bit more, we've got our double shot in there, and we've also got espresso, so we've already got more volume. So the key here is locking the steam tip into the steamer. I'm not moving it around, I'm keeping it in the same position. It's now getting a bit too hot. 1, 2, 3, we turn it off. It's all about the vortex, okay? So I'll dive a bit deeper into that one as well. We've got our one cloth for steaming, one cloth for benches. The next one, lactose-free? No, just a normal mocha milk. Cool, so you want your milk just to sit for a second. So it will then allow it to rise to the top, or the foam to rise to the top. Give it a tap. You'll see what I call pimpling. There's some little bubbles there. Then when you swirl it, it'll come back to nice texture. And if you want to assess your milk, look at the wall. You'll see a big bubble or a small bubble, and that is the consistency of the steam that essentially, or the crackle that you've been getting. Getting in there, blending, coming back and finishing off with a beautiful little heart. Okay, so I've got the right amount of milk in this one. I've looked at that and went, oh, maybe a bit too much milk, so maybe I need a little bit less. Always purge first. Get the water out of your steam wand. Just lock in that spout into the arm, and then find the little tip, get just under the liquid, go off to a quarter of the jug. You turn that on and it just spins. And you want spinning, no hiss. Then lower it just to get that crackle based on the cup you're going to have. So we're making a mocha, so we want a good amount. Now it's warm, about 40 degrees. Lift it back up, keep it spinning in that vortex. When it gets too hot to touch, 1, 2, 3, turn it off. Now I don't know if you can hear any of the noise that's happening there as well, but there would be, have you got another bigger jug there? Actually, I can use this one. So just letting that milk sit for a second there is really going to help your milk and your texture. So you can always do something in an espresso bar to keep yourself moving. So again, it's sat for a sec, tap it, swirl it, swirl, and pour. In and low, get the foam in there, nice and thick. Mochas are awesome because they get that beautiful two-tone look. Always pour patterns on your takeaways. Okay, I've got my next cap. So you might think, oh, he's got all the coffee sitting there, because now I'm going to go back and dust all three and lid all three in one go. I don't want to be hanging around and having to pick up that shaker more than once. It's getting too hot. Okay, letting that sit. Now that was my lactose-free jug, and I've got another flat white. So flat white, I'm going to add a bit more milk because I want less froth. One little hiss, that's all it needs. Just a little crackle at the start, keeping that vortex going the whole time. You'll see this is super strong, super powerful. That's just what Lamazocos do. That's where we get the speed. Okay, so I managed to froth that because there was no real texture needed in a flat white. I'll let this milk rest in the time, give it a swirl. I'm sure the sugar's already stirred in. Well done there for Chloe. Again, pouring in a nice big solid blob first, really trying to take all that dark crema out and just blend it in. That's where you get a lot of good flavour. So now we've got 3 chocolatey coffees with a bit of espresso up the arm. I've had this milk resting, sitting, swirling, swirl the espresso, getting in there. Just trying to really just work that crema as much as I can, especially in a flat white. You just need a little bit of foam, just a smidge in it. All right, so there's the 4 drinks made nice and quick. We get our chocky shaker, we dust our lactose-free mocha, our normal mocha, and our cap. Lid them all up. One, wee. Oh, 2, and 3 coming up. And just a little tip: a lot of people put their hand like that over the lid. You can't. You got to think about food safety. So we don't want to put our fingers anywhere near the sipper. That's why this rim around the outside is really handy. And you want to put the sipper at the bottom of the pattern. That's where it's going to taste the best for a customer, because there's going to be a little bit of foam and a little bit of blended espresso as well. There you go, Ian. 4 coffees, nice and quick. Give yourself a quick bench, clean that. Good thing about milk or having a milk station is making sure you've got, ideally, not a lot of milk waste. See you, Ian. Thank you, mate. There's a little bit here, just a smidge. There's not a huge amount. Now, I guess there's a bit of a debate whether you reuse that milk or not. Any business owner is going to say, yes, reuse it. And look, the saying was 10% of old milk was actually okay. We want to consider that that's all right to reuse, but we don't want to be using milk that's been overheated. So if someone's asked for a hot cup, being like 85 degrees or super hot, we definitely want to reuse that milk. It's going to be burned. It's going to smell really funny. And if you're not sure about that, have a smell of your milk. You'll start to get used to that sweetness that is there. Oh, that's super, super lactosey. And then that's normal milk. But once it gets too hot, you can smell the difference in it. So you definitely don't want to use that when you're adding it back to other milks, nor do you want to add all of these together, okay, and then do a small little top up and make another milk. Because essentially when you froth, you're activating the sugars, the proteins, and everything that's great in milk and stretching it out. You don't want to be thinning it down by adding something that's already had those products removed. So for us here, I will just get rid of that. But essentially that was nearly 1 whole 12 ounce that was wasted in 4 drinks. So understanding how much milk you put in at the start will really help your wastage, but also make sure you got the right amount of milk, right amount of foam for every cup that you're going to serve. So if you've got a question, Ryan's behind the camera there. Happy to answer those for you.
Got a couple of people that said hello, but Luke, you might just want to give a bit of a recap on what we're doing here today.
Yeah, for sure. G'day everyone, thanks for saying hello. Hey, we're just covering frothing. Going to cover the key parts to it, the different types of milk, how they react differently. We're just going to hang in the bar here, and whatever order comes in, we're going to work through. But if you've got a question, pop it down below. Happy to answer it. So we've got a strong cap with sugar there. So we're just using Norco local dairy milk here. Over 100 years, I believe. These guys have been a cooperative for milk.
How much milk are you pouring in there, mate?
Yeah, so I'm going to go below the spout on this one. So less milk when we're trying to get a cappuccino, because we want to rise it up the volume. So if you've got some sort of measuring device inside the jug, that's handy. but I'm just going to get it spinning with no hiss. I'm lowering it down. You can see the volume coming up. Now I've got enough foam, so I'll lift it up just that smidge. Stop the hiss. Keep it spinning. That's folding the foam back through. When it gets too hot to touch, 1, 2, 3, turn it off. Let it sit and rest. Give it a wipe, clean up. Always want to purge to get that milk out of the. Yep, we've got strong. So we've got an extra shot to go in this one here. So this is a double shot of coffee, which is the 45 grams, but the extra shot is going to be another split of 22.5. Again, showing you there. See how the milk's sat, those bubbles have come to the top. Tap them out. If you go really good, you get some milk fireworks on your hands. And then as you swirl it, look at the quality of your bubbles on the side. That's actually really, really good milk. You can see that there's 1 or 2 maybe little bubbles on the side, but that's how you work out whether your hiss is perfect or not. Swirl your espresso, swirl your milk. Come up high, pour in quite fast and get some blob underneath there, and then just keep working through that crema. Even though it's a triple shot, you still want to make sure you're blending all those in. There we go, and it was a cap, yeah. Bit of chocolate on top. Pop the sipper at the bottom because we did blend that espresso and that foam together, so the first sip will be awesome. There you go, mate.
Thank you.
Enjoy your cut. So a lot of people get the strong drinks a little bit different, that are like that a little bit wrong. You still want to blend through that crema because it's really, when the milk's added, it's going to be strong. You don't want to leave that crema just sitting on the top. It's really going to be a little bit bitter and tarty still, almost too hard for people.
A couple more people saying hello, which is nice. Thanks for joining us. Jacob says, it's got a good question here. Why do barista oat milks foam better than regular oat milks?
Yeah, sure. So what happened with, I guess, alternative milks originally, we've been obviously in the industry for a while and we've seen them come into play. Initially, it was a product that people were drinking from a health perspective. So if you didn't want to have lactose or dairy was an issue for you, they brought out a whole range of non-dairy milks. So like Sanitarium is probably a good example. They brought out like a soy many years ago, and that soy was great for breakfast cereal, and that's how it was marketed. And a lot of other companies did that. But then they realised that that was a terrible product when it came into the cafes because people started demanding these products. And over time, essentially, they've had to reinvent not only the product, but the brand, the marketing, and everything around them. So they've gone back and focused and looked at what makes these alternative milks froth better. And if you read the labels, you're gonna start to see a lot of different things, thickeners and all these little codes and things like that. But predominantly, any nut-based milk is going to have a very small amount of nuts, a lot of water, and a lot of other things involved in there to make it froth better. So, yeah, they've worked out what those key elements are. Some of them do have some sort of oil in there as well to help, the texture be nice and good and silky in your mouth. So, I guess it's a modified product that will has gotten better for baristaing. But if you go and get yourself an original milk, soy, I should say, or alternative milk, and versus a barista product, the barista product will be heaps better. So if you're a home user and you're going to the supermarket to try and buy it, you might not get access to that barista product because not all barista products are in supermarkets. Something like Alternative Dairy Co. here, these products here, the barista range, that's only available through cafes. So you should see your cafe partners that have this product selling it over the counter. And I think your Milk Labs in one of the supermarkets here in Australia. I can't remember. I saw it on the shelf the other day. So yeah, but I don't think you can get bonsai in the supermarket, can you? Or you can?
I think you can.
Think you can get bonsai now?
Pretty sure you can.
So bonsai is definitely the one that's been around for a long time. There's a lot of, I guess, history or conversation for alternative milks over the years, but it's definitely got to a point where they're really good. Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Grap Daddy says, love your stuff, mate.
Awesome. Rap Daddy? Grap Daddy.
Grap Daddy.
Hey, Grappa,
And then,
maybe?
Is it Night Shadow?
Oh.
Says, can you save or rescue milk that's been over frothed?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
Like really bubbly and bad froth is probably what I'm picking up from that. Yeah. Okay. So let's do it. Let's do a real bad milk. You can't save it to perfection, but you can save it to work with.
It's supposed to be for a flat white.
Oh yeah, no, you can't save that. No, but
Latte, but if it's for a cappuccino, maybe?
yeah, if it's a cappuccino and you make really bad milk. So let's have a look, I'll show you. Come on in close. So let's say we don't get our vortex and we got ourselves, you know, stuck a little bit and can't get that vortex to spin it back through, because the vortex is there to get all that foam and keep it moving back through the milk. That's what really makes it super silky. The biggest issue people have when they're learning to froth is they continue to get hiss all the way to the top temperature. And that's the problem. You don't want that. You want to get the foam as quick as you can at the coolest temperature. So you've risen the volume of that milk by the hiss. Then you need the most amount of time to keep the vortex to fold it all the way back through. So, you know, in these machines, we've got a heap of steam, it's pretty easy. But on a home machine, you might find that you're not getting enough pressure even to make that spin. So I would investigate ways, maybe on the internet, to make that machine a little bit more powerful. You can block off a hole by jamming a toothpick in, or just trying to get that spin to happen. But also maybe consider not trying to use a really big jug. Maybe you can go to a smaller jug and you then might be able to get that vortex spin on a home machine. But let's say you get a lot of froth and you don't, so I'm putting the steamer in the middle here, and it's gonna go all over the place, right? So see that? Okay, so I've got a heap of steam into there really quick, and I got some pretty bubbly milk. I can see what kind of bubble we're gonna get because it's all over the wand there. And you're like, oh, how do I deal with that? Because that's probably the milk that most people have. You know, it's not settling. Doesn't matter how much I tap into that, it's still gonna be this super thick baby chino style stuff that we used to have years ago. That's how you make a baby chino, by the way, if you wanna make it. And that was the test years ago. It's actually, if it's stuck to the back of a spoon, you made froth for a cappuccino. It's definitely not what we wanna do today. So there's going to be heaps of that, and the milk is going to be super separated. So I'll show you how separated that actually is, because if I was to just pour this, you'll see that the foam can literally stay in the jug, and I'm only pouring out the milk. See that? So that is just the hot milk underneath. So we haven't been able to combine that foam together to be able to pour or work with it. But if we had to work with that now, if you had no choice, and I know your boss is over your shoulder and you're like, oh, I need to try and use that milk, stop wasting it, you can tap it, swirl it, but when you swirl, you'll see that it makes a big marshmallow in the middle. And no matter what you do, you're still going to end up with a blob in the middle. So what we do is we tilt it sideways, because pouring off the front of the spout is actually a little bit thin and small. We want to use this big curve of a jug. And if we literally try and throw that foam in first, and then we pour the liquid all over the top, we give that a really good swirl, and then we tap and get our milk fireworks. All right, you can get them up in your hands like that. Give it a really good swirl. Do it again. Pouring it all back in. Milk fireworks. Give it another swirl. Okay, we've now got something we can actually work with. If you've got you got an espresso shot, look at that. So before, we had no chance on working with that really foamy mess. You got a brown cloth there? Yep, sweet. Sorry. Got to keep the place clean. All right, so before we were literally pouring and that milk was coming out the bottom and the foam was sitting on the top. So I'm going to do it one more time, and I'm going to be a little bit more careful. You know, I textured that, and the timing is going to be crucial from that. A swirl, so pour in. You can see it's still quite foamy, like super foamy, but at least there was something I could recover with. So maybe that's a good tip for you to work on. We probably, because I gained a lot of foam at the start, I would have known that we would have a really fluffy cup. Probably could have poured off the start a little bit of that foam, okay, and then had the exact amount that I needed, because I had way too much foam, and you can see how that settled in a latte. That's like crazy. So maybe for a cappuccino. Yeah. You know, some people now make that and they're like, oh, how do I deal with that? It's too much froth. You can sort of be a little bit cheeky and pour into it, and you'll see that the cup starts to rise. All right, so that's your cappuccino if you want. In a latte glass, we just basically compressed this foam level by adding a bit more milk in it, but it did rise up. Years ago, that's what we do. You just keep going until that thing became a real big mound on the top. So yeah, that's a pretty good tip to doing it, but it's terrible in terms of flavour, because this is all just milk. It's just foam. There's no real flavour in that. Some people love to, eat it and so on, but it's not going to be a tasty product. It's not combined with coffee. It's not combined with, chocolate once you get rid of the top layer. So yeah, probably wouldn't try and do that if you have to.
Got a question from Prairie Pegger.
Yeah.
Can I add caramel sweetness to milk before steaming to make latte art?
Don't add anything to your milk. Ideally, you add it to your espresso. So here we've got 2 sugars in the espresso, and we're stirring them so that the sugar is all the way through the espresso. Okay, so if we now do latte art, that whole top crema is flavoured. So if you had a vanilla syrup, a caramel syrup, or any other syrup, that's where you want to add it. Add it to here. If you're putting it into here, the milk's already sweet. You don't need to sweeten it up anymore. But just showing you again, there's the bubbles on the top, letting it sit for a bit. A couple of milk fireworks. Sorry if I got the camera there. And give it a swirl. Swirl that. Pour in, get that foam in and under, and start to blend with it. So if we blend really well, all of that top crema is sweet. And your pattern really does help, because now you're getting a little bit of blended crema and foam, then you get a bit of foam, and these little lines give that extra flavour to it. So bit of coffee, a little bit of sweetness, and we're good to go there. And it was a cap, wasn't it? Yep. So even if I put chocky on top, it's still going to give a lot of flavour, but the actual blending underneath is going to be a much better texture, much better flavour. It's not going to be a heap of foam. It'll actually be a coffee and foam. And you get a beautiful cap. There you go, mate.
Thanks very much.
Enjoy.
Have a good day.
You too. So yeah, hopefully that answered your question for you.
Grap Daddy says, I love seeing real steam out of a machine.
Blend, or do you want to try?
He said, I got to work yesterday and was taking 40 plus seconds to find milk in service.
Oh wow.
Let us know what kind of machine you use.
Yeah, what machine? Maybe need an upgrade.
Interesting to know.
If it's a really old machine, this is something that we find from a tech perspective. If it's not a dual boiler and it's a HX machine, you're actually going to have probably a lot of build up in your boiler. So if you started with a 2 group like this, it's roughly a 9 litre boiler. But over time, if you're letting the minerals build up, you might have like a kilo, literally, of sand in the bottom there. So you've actually lost a kilo of your volume. One day I went to a cafe in a chain store, and they were like, oh, we've got no steam, and the boiler just keeps adding water and trying to steam, and we're losing steam, and we've got no water. And I thought, this is crazy. Like, I don't know what's going on. And so I got under the machine, and we opened up the boiler and started to drain it out. And we got about 6 kilos of sand out of this machine. And it was the reason the whole boiler was full of sand. There was no room for water, no room for steam. So that 9 litres capacity was so tiny that by the time you froth, you lost everything. Yeah, mineral sand, yeah. Yeah, it was crazy. I think I've got... Yeah, there's just no room in the boiler left, yeah. And so we did that on site in Coffs Harbour. Whoa, freaky. And like most techs no one would dare to do that in service, but that's what happened. That is a sensational coffee.
Come back and tell you that's sensational.
Thank you, no worries. That's the guy that just had the cap with the 2 sugars that we were explaining about the sweetness. So yeah, you're not going to have customers that will won't say that the sugar is on the bottom of the cup. And look, some people love that. They like the little sweet hit that you get, but you do want it to be through the whole. Oh, that went crunch. Why did that go crunch? Oh, that needs to be adjusted up. It's like that's dropped a little bit. We're doing an iced latte shot. That's you. You got a short black, and we got a latte. Iced latte, normal milk, yeah?
Yeah.
You know, these are your cold drinks. Cold drinks are something you've got to have in your cafes for sure. Get your little bit of milk in there to start. We've got a normal latte coming as well. Yeah.
Night Shadow said, thanks so much, appreciate the guidance. Jacob said, have you tried steaming eggs to make scrambled eggs?
yeah, we have. Yeah, many years ago that was a thing. They actually worked pretty good. Yeah, the actual moisture from the steam into the egg does make it really light and fluffy. I reckon you should do barista eggs on your menu.
Good for the machine though?
As long as you clean it out, it's fine. Yeah, you really just want to get it out and I'd definitely be cleaning the tip at the end of the day for sure. Short black by itself.
And says, hi mate, can I re-steam steamed milk if it gets cold?
Not really, no. Because the same issue you've got, you've taken all the goodness out of that already. Here you go, here's your moment of slow-mo. And give that a little top up. Here's a debate. I don't know whether you make this right and be ready to drink, or you do it like this because it looks pretty, and then the person swirls it themselves. I think the Instagrammers want it like that. You know? But essentially, the customer's going to drink milk straight up if they don't swirl that. But it looks really nice, colour-coded. Just something to consider. Cheers. Have a good one. Another latte again. So look, there's your silky milk, right? You can see around the edge, like one or two little bubbles. The bubbles, we call them micro bubbles or microfoams that we're trying to create. But every little crackle that you get outside of that vortex is going to cause that issue. So blending, and just doing a nice little pretty pattern like that is going to be an amazing coffee for a person. I've found over the years that people focus way too much on latte art and they forget about blending and getting a good taste to the cup. So I've had a lot of beautifully poured coffees that taste really bad. And I think that's Dean. I think those are the other guys. Hang on a sec. Oh, hello, Mark. How are you?
Good evening.
Oh, it's a phone order. I thought it might have been their extras. Espresso good? Perfect. Great. Alrighty. Yeah. If you just joined us, hey, we're just talking milk, frothing, and some of the issues you might have. The last question we had there was, can you use milk that's cooled back down? Well, actually, if you just look here, ideally we don't have anything left over. That's that last latte that we had. If you had some left over, it's going to have far less sugars and proteins and the goodness that actually makes milk taste like milk. So it's literally water. So you don't want to let that cool and then add it back in. If you frothed it all the way up, didn't use it and then let it cool, then yeah, okay, you could technically let it cool and then try and combine it back in because technically you haven't changed that texture other than adding more moisture into it from the steam wand, because the steam wand does add more moisture or water into milk when you use it. So when you then reuse it, technically you're adding, again, more steam or water. So you could do it, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't tell your customers that you're doing it, especially when you're trying to charge good money for a good coffee. Back for seconds?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
No, I wanted to taste it pure and it's very good, yeah.
Yeah, brilliant.
Thank you.
What's that one there?
That would be a
Is that the soy?
soy latte.
Soy latte. Oh,
You
yeah.
guys local or just passing through?
Just passing through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
We're from Austria.
And you're just passing through Kopsala. Yeah. So on a couple of week holiday or doing a longer term? Yeah. Yeah, nice.
Started from Melbourne and now heading to Byron Bay and the Gold Coast. When we go back home from Brisbane.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, nice. How did you find us?
On the internet, right?
Yeah, Google search. Yeah, just for coffee and coughs, or yeah, sweet. So you've walked into. We've got one of the largest, actually, I think the largest roastery YouTube channels for Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you want to learn anything about coffee, yeah, we've got something from cafe side, domestic side, how to run a cafe, reviews, the whole lot. So yeah, we're just on a live, playing a bit of milk.
We didn't know before that coffee is such a thing in Australia.
It's a thing. Yeah. You should better get good coffee between here and where you're heading, definitely. So Byron will have great coffee. And then up through the Gold Coast, there's a lot of other specialty roasters and good cafes up there. So yeah, you're heading into a pretty good area for good quality. Yeah. That's awesome. I just did soy. So yeah, soy, typically if it's not a good product, you do need to be a little bit more gentle with it. You can see I did get a couple of little bubbles there again. Definitely want to start with cold alternative milks. Okay, anything cold gives you more time to stretch that milk. So you really want to make sure that you're not using hot milk or reheated milk, because that could be even 20 degrees if it's warm alternative dairy just straight out of a cupboard. You're lessening the time that you get to spin and texture your milk. So that's why we use cold product, but that soy's come up a treat, like, you know, one or two. And the tip is soy and splitting. There's a couple little tips. If you really don't want to split, just put a dash of cold in, just a smidge, not enough to cool it down, but that will help change the acidity level of the crema, and then we can pour straight into it, and you'll get your beautiful. Oh, it doesn't want to move as much as I was hoping, but there you go, that's not too bad for a soy. All right, so still got that texture, still managed to get the flavour that's blending through nicely. Soy latte. Cheers, have a cracking day. We've got a nice latte there.
Thank you.
No worries. Have a great journey. Thanks for stopping by, guys.
Safe travels. So we've got a question here. What's
Yeah.
the difference from long Mac and double espresso?
Ah, yeah. So double espresso is just, here we go. We've actually got a long black here, but
It said long Mac.
long Mac, yeah.
Yeah.
So double espresso, you got single espresso, which would be just the extraction straight out of the group handle into an espresso cup. So a single would be a 1-to-1 ratio of whatever coffee you're putting in your group handle. So for us, it'll be 22.5 grams of liquid. A double espresso is going to be catching both sides of that portafilter handle, which is going to be 45 grams, and that'll be in your 1 cup there as well. A long macchiato, the word long is linking back to a long black. So straight away, oh, don't trip on the ice. The long black, the word long refers to a long black essentially. So the long is really the hot water that is applied before you put your espresso on top. So that was what we would put a long macchiato in. We'd put hot water to about 100 ml of hot water in here. We'd put a double espresso in there as well. And then the macchiato is the foamy part. So we're looking to add some sort of beautiful sweet foam into that cup. And that's what's going to give you your macchiato essentially with the long and your espressos. So yeah, I used to drink lots of those, serve lots of them. It hasn't become as big a thing, but it's a very beautiful drink. Just a little bit of sweetness helps add more balance, sweetness, flavour, and calm down that long coffee.
Nettle 314 says the manager at my cafe insists that we keep and reuse leftover steamed milk. That's bad, right?
Oh yeah, so bad. Jump online, check out one of our YouTube videos and send it to them. I'm sure, I think Jimmy's done like, good and bad tips for milk. The key thing is now people are so particular about their coffee and they want to pay a good amount. And if you're anywhere around outside of Australia, coffee's expensive. Like we are still super cheap in Australia for a small cup, but we do hear from yourselves what the prices are around the world. And if you're reusing old terrible milk and yeah,
Learn to pour the right amount of milk in your milk jug.
Yeah.
And then use what you need.
So flat white in a 8 ounce, just went above the spout, just to show you there. All right, and if I get this right, I'm only going to get a small amount of hiss. So locating the steam, the jug spout into the steamer, getting the tip just as there underneath the liquid, get off to the side just by a third, turn it on and it'll spin the vortex. Oh, lost my finger there. Just come down, get a little hiss, then lift it up. Keep it spinning. Too hot to touch. 1, 2, 3. The little jug does have a slight different position to the bigger jug. And I don't recommend, if you've got a high-powered machine, don't try and froth with this. You're going to cause yourself heartache. You're going to get upset. You're overflowing the jug and causing really poor quality stuff. So learn with one of these, deal with the wastage, and then come back and learn to practice on this one. But there you go. Super textured, beautiful milk. Pour it in. See how there's that clearness, which was the actual liquid, which means I don't have a huge amount of foam that's happening in that cup, which means it's a perfect flat white. You shouldn't be able to do a massive pattern on a flat white. That's why I call it a flat white. Just enough to get the crema to be a bit of a texture. Pop your lid sipper on the bottom of the pattern again. And flat white, mate. Have a great day. All right, we've got a couple of interesting ones here. Good opportunity to talk about skim milk or light milk. So we don't use a skim milk because for skim milk, 0% fat. And so when you take the fat out, they put a lot more sugar in. So when you're frothing, you actually make a really thick foam. And it's actually quite hard to pour. It can blob out quite quickly. And then you get that thin, watery liquid underneath. So understanding how to make a skinny, hot drink is a key. We use a light milk, so 2% fat is much better product, and I would look to run that if you can. Now, we've got a regular here who we love, comes in very often, loves a skinny hot cap, and he wants it really hot, so it's not going to look as great as we would like, but let's do it. All right, so we're going skinny hot flats and a skinny hot cap small. So Wayne's after a 54ml bottomless portafilter Breville. So definitely don't want to use any old other milk when you're using a super hot cup. So we're going to get our, again, spout locked in. We're going to have the tip just under the liquid, come off to the side, turn that on. We want to get our froth really, really quickly, okay, for the cap. And then we just want to keep it spinning. We want this to spin as much as we can. If we're not spinning and getting hot, it's going to separate really, really bad. Naturally, the heat will actually start to separate it. Listen. Hear that tone change? As soon as that tone change happens, it just naturally got the froth. So be wary for that, but that's how it gets hot. So if you had really big bubbling milk, then got that change in tone, your milk's gonna be super terrible. But all right, so actually I'm gonna use this one for the cap. I got lots of milk, absolutely lots of milk here. So kind of what we were doing earlier on, just maintaining a hot jug. I'm gonna flip off a bit of that because it's heaps. We've got our cap here. See how it's just really thick, but it's really hot too. So got good blending, jockey on top. We'll get our lid on. Then you got these little, so we use single wall cups because we generally serve most of our coffee at a cooler temp. So if we pop that sleeve in, that is a more cost-effective option because they're only paying for a premium on the odd hot cups, not a double wall cup on every single cup, which will cost you a lot more money. So now we've got the really hot flat white. Skinny, I don't want to try and get any froth. I'm just trying to keep it spinning. You can hear that sound getting really loud. Right, it's kind of like the sound your kettle makes when it gets really, really hot. But I didn't get much foam in there. Naturally, there's just enough foam in there for this cup for sure. So some milk fireworks. I think I'm going to patent that, milk fireworks. Get rid of them, get rid of the bubbles. Give it a swirl and a swirl. Get in there. And blend, 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 blend. It's actually getting really hot to hold. Finish off like that. That is one hot, skinny, flat white. Now, if the customer says, I want no froth, try that first. And then they go, oh, that's perfect. Great, that's fine. But if they say no froth, you literally have to put a spoon on the end and hold it all back. And it's thin, watery, terrible, and not a good coffee. I wouldn't recommend it at all. There you go. 3 for Steve or 4 for Steve? You got 3, Steve? There yours, mate.
You're going to do
oat.
full cream. I got a note.
You got a note?
I'll do a note.
You talk about oat.
Oat. It's a grain.
It's a great. Come on, they're here to learn. This is Tia, everybody.
Hello guys, how are we?
You should be able to hear her. But what do you do special with oat milk?
Oat. Do you want me to hold that? Oh, okay. Oat has a lot of sugar content, so I tend to not go as hot, and that's what we train our cafe partners not to do. Don't go too hot. You'll see it start to stretch, it split, it gets really loud, and it's a gross texture for the customer to drink. So I stretch the same, I let my air in at the start, but I tend to just stop just short of 65 degrees, just so that it's hot enough for them to drink, but not to the point where the milk split. So just there. So I've just hit that temperature where I know it's actually drinking better. I'm not going to push that. Oh, I didn't get milk fireworks. Sorry. I
Oh,
missed you.
yeah, come on.
I
Yeah.
missed you. Trademark. So yeah, you can still see that's really nice and textured, but it is a flat white that we're working with, so they don't want it frothy. It's not split yet, so that's beautiful. And then you just pour this, mix it all together. Lid on.
Actually, you don't pour hearts, Luke.
How come I don't pour hearts?
Yeah.
Luke
Oh,
only
tulips.
pours
Tulips, rosettas. I do hearts on like Valentine's Day. But here you go, there's a latte, there's a cappuccino.
Thank you so
Ready to rock for you. All right, starting to get a few in, which is good.
Luke?
One little tip there about alternative milks. It does say on the packet to shake it. You have to shake it to combine everything first. If you don't do that, you will struggle. And the tip is actually open it, crack it, get a little bit extra airspace. Then you can give it a really good shake, invert it a few times, and you will be on the road to success. All right, so if you just joined us, hey, we're just talking milk today. It's all about how to froth milk, different types of milk, the issues. If you've got a comment, or a question I should say, down the bottom, pop in the comments. Ryan will read that out in a sec.
A few questions there, actually.
Yep. Oh, sorry, Tim. Just trying to keep on top of you there. That
Who's
was
the latte art guru at Artisti?
Jim. Jim competed in latte art.
Did we answer too quick?
No, we're honest. Come on, that's his specialty.
Wayne, are you having 3?
What's the
One.
What's the most popular
Oh,
coffee
Wayne.
there?
Lattes, second to cabs. Thanks, Wayne. Hope that helps you.
Thank
Yeah, sorry, what was the most popular coffee?
I reckon it's lattes,
Lattes?
and then caps.
you. I reckon it's lattes and cups too.
Yep. And flatties would be real close, but not quite.
What's a great tip or recommendation for busy service and high output of milk?
Learn the fundamentals. Learn the fundamentals of what you need to do, and then you work faster. Don't try and be fast because you're going to lose quality. We want quality and quantity, not just quantity.
Speed will come with your technique
Practice.
and
Yeah.
quality, yeah.
Yeah. But also working in a good team as well.
Flat white milk, and then a cap milk.
Like I'm not even thinking right now. Luke's telling me exactly what I need to do. I'm just here to look pretty.
Bit more. Oh, I'm doing the cap milk.
Yeah, working with
I'm gonna swap it, no, because I'm gonna do this one first.
working with a good team so that you can keep the coffees coming out.
Using the other side of the steamer is the key here, because right now I'm gonna give her that shot. We've got the flat white milk. Okay, so I put that over. Now I start on the next one. And we can really pump them along. So now Tia's is focusing on looking after the pour and the handoff to the customer. It's a cap.
Oh,
It's the superest, tiniest, smallest little C in the world that actually looks like an O, but at least we know who Cooper is, so
we do know who
Exactly.
Cooper has a cap. We got him sorted.
Do you measure the exact amount of milk to put into the jug so you don't have any leftover for it?
Yeah, we do. Over time, you get to know what it is, but we definitely train to work on that. Having the exact amount is the key to a much better coffee. There is actually a download that we did on that, and we've got a jug pictured with the different. See you later. Thank you. There's a jug that we have as a download that talks about what levels you can have and why you go increase or decrease on those.
Cooper.
Is iced espresso the same as an Americano?
Iced espresso?
Yeah.
No, because that's just espresso and ice. Cap and a latte milk, please.
Warren wants to know what a cortado is.
I think Jimmy just did a video on a
Yeah,
cortado.
Jimmy just released one on
Yeah.
Thursday.
Our latest video, go check it out.
Yeah, it's not the same as a piccolo. Basically, a piccolo has, say, a third of foam, third espresso, third milk, where the cortado is a 50-50. That's the easiest way. We don't really have a cortado glass allocated in Australia. Our piccolos are a little bit small for a cortado, technically. So if we had to serve a cortado, we'd have to do it in a latte glass and be quite small. That's just the extra shot to come into that one.
What's the best calibration for espresso and machine steam pressure? And what's the best temp for serving the coffee?
Well, best temp for milk is 65 degrees. Anything you go past that with the dairy, it's really going to start to split. Alternative milks, probably 60, just that little bit cooler would be the recommendation there. And they'll all say that on these packs. I'm going to have to jump in there, Tia, sorry, to get a soy. Yeah. All right, need a pair of scissors for the bonsai. There they are over here.
Oh, you got that one, hey.
That's how I do mine, by the way. Crack it, open it, cut that way.
Ooh.
Right, so much better because then you can pinch it, give it a swirl, and then you got this beautiful pouring spout. Look at that.
Oh, that's in my sock.
Look at that. It's so good.
So good.
It's so good. No, it's actually bonsai. It's not so good. Oh,
It's going to be
that
a
was-
long, long day with a left foot of soy. Ethan.
For all the times you burnt me with the steam one with hot water.
Thanks, Jamie. Awesome. Have a good day.
Can steamed leftover milk be used for iced coffee?
No.
No.
The answer is you can't use steamed leftover milk because you're not going to create leftover steamed milk. That is the goal. Stop making it. Understand how to get the right amount of foam for the right coffee, and then you won't have wastage. Because that's what it is. You've got wastage. Wastage in the cup flavour that you're going to give your customer. It's going to be a poor tasting coffee. And you've got wastage in terms of the business. This is soy. So this was not, I didn't put a dash in this one, which if you go back and have a look, I put a little dash into a soy earlier. Again, if you wanted to dust that espresso shot first, you can. Oop. Again, knowing where the end of the pattern was for that one. There you go, mate.
Thank you.
Soy cap, enjoy. And there you go. Very little waste. Ooh, it's a bit hot in my hand.
Yep.
How do you get the most foam out of almond milk for a dry cappuccino?
For a dry cap. Yeah, just treat it like a babychino. Get the foam as quick as you possibly can. Yeah, just stretch like crazy. Like what I did earlier on the video. If you go back and have a look, I was answering the question on how to fix if you got way too much foam. Yeah, that's how you do it. Just draw that down really quick.
Hi, why would you steam your milk for 2 times?
You wouldn't steam your milk twice.
Never.
No, the only time you ever do it is if you've just started frothing milk and you've got the perfect latte milk, you stop to 65 degrees and then the customer says, I want it extra hot. Quickly go back in and go for it, but that's about it.
That's about all the questions, and it's nearly been an hour. So
It's been an hour. Wowzers, I think it's about time. Hey, thanks very much for joining everyone. Hope that helped you understand a bit about milk. That was fun, really cool. We'd love to know a bit more some of the things you want us to do in these little sessions. We do want to keep trying to lock in that Wednesday spot. It's a couple of times I'm not going to be here, but definitely we want to keep it happening. So we want to make it educational, interactive, and allow you guys to learn essentially in tune with all the stuff we produce on YouTube and our downloads and so on. We just want to make it a spot for you to riff around a little bit, hey? Riff it. This was totally planned. It was a scripted session.
Very scripted. Even the soy milk drop.
Go back and see that one, hey? The sock drop. We're going to call it the soy sock drop. There you go. The soy. Ryan, go back and cut that out and put that as a little reel.
That's a reel.
That's a reel.
It's going to be posted this afternoon.
Grap Daddy says, amazing guys, a pleasure.
No worries. Hey, thanks
Thanks for
everyone.
doing that.
Really appreciate it. Excited to keep hanging with you guys. We'll catch you soon. Cheers.